Guys, what's going on? How's everyone doing today? Wednesday, July 15th at 11:15 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. As you're checking in, like the video, let me know where you're checking in from. We got we had a fight last night. So, if you tuned into the live stream, you would have doubled your money or more yesterday. We went over, you guys pressured me and peer pressured me into breaking down the Kajino fight. And we took action on Kajino, and sure enough, he wins by 8th round knockout. I told you guys it was a fight between two guys without photos on BoxRec. It was an 8-rounder. Two guys were coming off knockouts. So I chose to go with the younger, longer, taller guy. Said that it would happen in the pocket, and we're up. Continuing our streak. We're on a nice little run. 3 weeks in a row. 3 straight weeks, not 3 weeks, 3 straight weeks of like really, being on fire with our picks. So shout out to the chat yesterday for peer pressuring me. See guys, sometimes peer pressure can be good. Join our Discord. It's a couple bucks a month. You can join here on YouTube or Patreon, whichever way you join, you get access. I'll leave that link pinned in the comments. Also, if you are a JSB insider on YouTube or you're a Patreon and you're not in the Discord, you need to message me, because in the Discord, that's where we have a constant 24/7 chat of our picks, not just boxing. We have it segmented, all pro sports. There's a lot of, massive UFC fights once again, which we win consistently as well. So my bread and butter, if you're new here, is boxing and then also MMA. The Discord, though, has everything from World Cup soccer to tennis to golf to F1 racing. The only other sport I bet on is actually coming up in a month, college football. So stay tuned for that. Our channel, we have a channel there as well. I also give my picks for college football. So get into the Discord. We also stream the fights. So yeah, the as you can tell, for the price package of becoming a member, which more importantly, you help me, you support me, but the value is pretty endless. I mean, for what it is and what it's becoming. August 1st will be 1 year, so we're not even a year old. I'm excited to think about what this community will be in 5 years, and I have a long-term vision. So we're just getting started. I'm going to get better with my picks. I'm going to get better with my breakdowns. Could you imagine in a couple more years, as we see these prospects that we're covering turning into contenders and we see their careers in front of us? There's this changeover of guys who had carried the sport, who are getting old now, who are retiring and on their way out. And now we're watching in real time on our live stream and in our community fighters from all around the world coming through these promotions like Eye of the Tiger, No Limits, the UK, America, Japan, and we're seeing these guys grow in front of us. And so that I'm excited about that. That's why, like, we're just getting started. That's where real money is going to be made. Right now, we're just building a foundation of our winnings, of our bankroll, right? Think about it over time when we have reads on guys that most people don't know about that we've watched. We watch every fight card. We have action on mostly every card, not every fight. And why is that important? Because we're not just throwing shit at a wall, picking winners, hopefully it sticks. We know these fighters, and it's only going to get more vast over time. And I mean that collectively, meaning that I've been watching boxing my entire life since I was a kid. Us as a team, though, we're only 1 year old. So that's what I mean by that. Guys, I'm going to start checking in. We got 3 minutes in, 24 you guys already in here. Best team in the land for sure. We have a lot to talk about. Morning, Johnny. Pressure makes diamonds. Let's talk about that. This is what Christos is talking about. So yeah, we built this on the stream yesterday. It was action, Kajino plus 170, and this was my reasoning. I don't want any credit, and if we lose, you could clown me. That's how this works anyway. All right, I'm taking Kajino at plus 170. Half unit. This is from yesterday. This is why you got to watch the live streams. I put this now. We got something to watch tonight. Half unit, 3-inch height advantage, 3 years younger. I'll give you some reasons. 3-inch height advantage, 3 years younger. 5 out of his 6 wins come by knockout. They're both coming off knockout losses. I think he's going to use his range. They're going to fight in the pocket the entire time. We know how this works. I'm going to take the guy with the range, the longer reach. They're going to hook with each other. Don't hook with the hooker. Kajino money line 170 with dog hunt. Let's go. And yeah, so that was yesterday. So we're just continuing our momentum from the last 3 weeks. As we're going to look at the book now, we're going to see what we have in front of us. You guys in the Discord should have. I've given you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 tickets that are live. 2 of the 5 tickets are our quarterly long parlay that 5 out of 12 have hit already. And then our July-August parlay that starts this weekend. 3 of the tickets are fight. A method of victory double that I gave today that's paying plus 364. My UFC dog of the week that's paying plus 166. And my boxing knockout prop of the week paying plus 150. All the JSB insiders will know my leans. They'll know these because they get the tickets. I don't make those public, only if you're in our group. So if any of the JSB insiders want to talk about, pick my mind on why I chose this version, this route. Why do you like the knockout here rather than points? Feel free to ask. If you haven't seen my breakdown prediction analysis of Pacheco versus Aleem, that's on the fight prediction playlist. Check that out. And we could look, the next fight we have. This is for all the Aussies, if you're using Sportsbet, the next fights that are going to be starting, not until Sunday. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't get more fights on our books. Like we might, because there's a Pro Box card that I'm not seeing here yet. Maybe I am on Sunday. Yeah, because this is the UK card. So Sunday, 6 a.m. Australia time is the next action for boxing. That's also the same time for the UFC. I think we're going to get offered more fights, though, probably tomorrow. Like I said, it's only Wednesday morning. So stay tuned. And if you have any questions, there's a couple dogs I like. There's the rematch between Adelaide Ruiz and Jenny Fuchs. Adelaide is the dog right now. I think I'm going to take Auntie Ruiz on the money line as the dog. I like that one. And there's some other good odds. There's money on the table. What's up, Cody? Yeah, that's the Japanese card. Popo for the win. We can bring this fight up real quick. All right, so this is a rematch, guys. Auntie Ruiz this is Auntie Ruiz and Auntie Ginny because Ginny's 39 years old. Auntie Ruiz is 38 years old. They've already fought each other once. This is a rematch. And Ginny won a split decision the first time. She only has 5 pro fights. She hasn't fought in 2 years. She's slightly older. I feel that Ruiz will come in with a better game plan. I think she'll be more active. It's really hard to pass up plus 115 on the money line. And this is what I mean. She's won a world title since their first fight. She's gone on to win a world title. I mean, look at her record. 18-1-1. She's 37, La Cobra. She is the champion. Since she lost that quite shocking loss in 2024 here, this was the first time they fought. She lost a split decision. She's gone on to fight 2 more times, and she became a champion. Ginny, on the other hand, hasn't fought in 2 years. So, you're going to get your atypical female fight. There's going to be a lot of sort of like, exchanges in the pocket, maybe some head clashes, not a lot of clean work. But I think I like the A-side champion here at plus money in the rematch. She's been more active. This is Ginny. I think she might have taken a couple like combat. She's might have had a couple rounds in the combat league, those sort of like team boxing. Decent, obviously extensive amateur career. So she's lost a couple rounds. She's fought 2 rounds since, and she lost both rounds, by the way, since the auntie fight. Yeah, so I think I might play that. I might throw it on a parlay. I might just take it as a dog. We'll see. Because right now, let's see if we take. I usually don't like putting. Like, if this is going to be my dog, let's build something real quick. Let's say we take Auntie Ruiz on the money line. There's not a lot yet. I'm gonna wait until after Sunday to mess with the There's a Japanese card on Monday, so I might do like a short parlay with a couple of those fights, but it's still only Wednesday morning my time here in Sydney, so I'm waiting for my books to totally open up. So I don't want to jump the gun too much. I have given you some props. I might, dude, you're doubling your money. I really like Ruiz. I might do it right now. You know what? I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna do it right now, just so you guys know. I've been having good luck. We've been having good luck with this sort of strategy as well, putting bets in on the live stream together. This yesterday we hit, but that was like the third one in a row that's been the case. But I'm gonna share this for the JSB insiders. I'm gonna put this up in the Patreon. This is my dog of the week. Anybody who's watching this as a live stream, there you go. Even if you're not in our group, I'm giving you free game. I have skin in the game. I'm gonna put it in right now. I've been thinking about it for 2 days. It's not like it just came on my radar, and I don't want those odds. I want her at plus money. Okay, here we go. All right, I got Auntie Ruiz. This is my dog of the week. I was already had my eyes on this fight. Auntie Ruiz at plus 115. So I'm playing that. I'm going to share that after the live stream in our members only section, and I'm going to put that in the Patreon. Um, Shout out to Boss Christos for reminding me to do that. I thought I had already done that. Youngin, what's up, Moonshot? How you doing? High interest. We meet again. What's up, brother? What were the odds Ginny Adelaide's first fight? Let's see. Ask and thou shalt receive. So in their first fight, Ginny Fuchs defeated Ruiz via close decision. People said it was a controversial decision. Leading up to the initial bout, betting markets closed with Ginny Fuchs as the slight favorite. So same thing. Same exact thing. Fuchs is the slight favorite, typically around one. Yeah, they're literally almost identical odds this time around. I watched that first fight. I mean, it could have gone either way. Sometimes girl fights are tough to judge because the action happens in such close proximity. Ruiz expressed dissatisfaction with the judging in the first fight, believing the bout was close enough that it could have gone to a draw or either fighter. And that's that. They just appeared on Pro Box's show, Chris Algieri's show. So Ruiz, like, it's personal, right? It's a good dog play. We like, shout out to our chat. We make a lot of money betting on the ladies. We make a lot of money betting on the ladies. I think women's boxing is a gold mine for betting. We don't have to judge it on like you can't compare women's boxing to men's boxing in terms of they're different. Don't even compare it. Look at women's boxing as a product of boxing, its own product. that allows bettors to bet on. That's it. That's all that we have to do. This is why I think we frame it this way. This is why we win a lot of money on female boxing. I like Ruiz. I edged her. I'd have to rewatch it. I remember feeling Ruiz won the first fight. Amen. Do we think Brian Flores stops Navarro? Are you getting props, Oscar? For me, I usually when I check my props, if I'm not getting them this early in the week, it's hard for me to focus on pulling the trigger. So I don't think I'm getting props on that yet. This is the same Jonathan Navarro who came to Australia, right? This is Robert Garcia, who was inactive for like 10 years. He came down and fought Liam Wilson, right? Oh, he came down and fought Liam Paro. Yeah. Paro stopped him in the fifth. Yeah, he was inactive for a while. I think, what do you have, 7 years off? 5 years off. But, this is the thing, guys. This is what you have to remember about Navarro is at this stage of his career, this will be, he's coming off 2 losses. I do like he's trying to be active, right? In 2017, wasn't he Golden Boy Prospect of the Year? Isn't this the same Jonathan Navarro, or was it PBC? Yeah. See, you guys are in good hands. I got you. My memory sharp. I take care of my mind and body. So this is the same guy. He is coming off 2 losses. At one time, Navarro was, this kid at one time was Golden Boy Prospect of the Year, man. And, he takes 6 years off, injuries, whatever the case may be. And he's coming off 2 losses. Why does that matter? Because you say, do you think Flores stops him? You have to think, even though he's coming off 2 losses, he's just getting his footing back. So I'd expect him to slowly be attempting to get back into form prior to the 5-year layoff. And I'm not talking physically. I'm thinking, this will be his what? Second fight. This will be his second fight in the calendar year. Since 2024 now, it'll be his 1, 2, 3. It'll be his fourth fight in 2 years after being shelved for 5. So mentally, it tells me that he's giving it another run. He wants to kind of like make up for lost time, sort of thing. So you got to keep that in mind. I don't think this kid's coming to roll over. He had, like, if you look at an early tape of Jonathan Navarro, and I'm only speaking from, if you guys remember, I taped him extensively because of the Liam Paro fight last year when he came to Brisbane. So I taped Navarro extensively, and I was like, early tape, 2017, 2018, 2019, you could see why he was Prospect of the Year. Now, 5 years off is tough. It's a tough thing to do. Let's see, we're dealing with Brian Flores. How about that, dude? This is a kid. Flores, 30 years old. The Little Marvel. Cool nickname. 5'9". Oh, yeah, this is the kid who beat Brian Starling Castillo. What a horrible fight that was. Oh, my God. That was a hard watch. Only because I took Starling Castillo and I lost. You know what I'm saying? But he lost a close split to Landolfo Delgado. Landolfo Delgado is always in close split decisions. Do I think that Brian Flores stops him? I don't know. I'm not getting a prop. I wouldn't bet that Flores stops him. I think the fight is competitive. If great, dude, America, What's up? The universe loves. Amen. Amen. What's up, Johnny and JSP? We have action on Sean Oak's fight. Let's check it out. All right, guys, we're gonna pull up Sean Oaks. He's the underdog. This is Sam Noakes' older brother, I think. What we'll do is we'll pull up the odds. We'll have a look at it. So if you guys have pulled up a little bit of tape on both guys, you know you're gonna get an Irish versus English showdown. If you haven't pulled up tape on both guys, and you know you can kind of get a good understanding of where their careers are based off of their resume. So let's look at Kieran's resume first. You know, you guys should, you know, the true blues will know Kieran Malloy from, you know, amateur boxing. We know, you know, I watch a lot of amateur boxing, especially around the Olympics. So you would recognize Malloy's name, 1407 stoppages. A nice size southpaw at welterweight. You know what I mean? He's a 5'11" southpaw, so he's going to be a big boy. He's crafty with his game. He's tough, undefeated, doesn't know how to lose. Comes from a decent, good amateur. And when you're looking at the guys he's fought, you know, if you're just looking at records, you know, so we already know he had a good amateur career. We already know he's big for the division, right? We know he's undefeated, and we know he's Irish. From there, you're looking at like how they've been stepping him up, right? You know, he beat Xavier Collins 15-2 points. Sobranis 11-5 points. He fights a guy in Toure who's 12-4, fights another guy in Crapaldi who's 11-6. And that's just all in the last 15 months, right? So we're looking at that and we're like, all right, Kieran Malloy, I like the way they're moving him. Big southpaw, nice amateur, undefeated kid, 27 years old. It's time to see what he has. The guy he's going up against, you'll know more about his brother Sam. You'll know about Sam Noakes for fighting in a really tough, you know, very competitive fight in which he was on the short end of a decision against, in my opinion, one of the best lightweights in the world, Abdullah Mason. And so she's fighting his brother Sean Noakes. Sean's 31. Okay. So what Sean's 31, he's an undefeated 31-year-old. Okay. With 65 pro rounds. Wasn't a decorated amateur like Malloy, as you could tell. I think we're going to see. I think Sean Noakes at 31 years old, 12-0. This is kind of like a really tough spot for him. We're looking at the guys he's fought in comparison to what you just saw Kieran Malloy fight. And look at some of those records: points, points, points. So he's fighting guys who are 3-30, winning on points. A guy who's 6-38, winning on points. Fought a guy who's 11-1, stopped him in the eighth. Guy who's 14-0, won a UD. Those last two fights, you know, you're taking fights at 154 pounds, 158 pounds. You know, maybe they're stay busy fights. 6 rounders. Uh I think that Kieran Malloy is pretty, you know, compared to these guys. I like Kieran Malloy on the money line. I think that's a. I don't believe in safe betting, but if I take Kieran Malloy here at $1.59, let me see if we could do a sneaky double. Because I'm trying to find. I haven't been able to find because my book isn't giving me much yet. I like Kieran on the money line here. 59% returns, great too, guys. For all you big bettors, let's say one of my whales calls me and is like, Johnny, I want 10 stacks. Would I put 10 stacks on Kieran Malloy to win on the money line? Me personally, would I put 10,000 on him? No. Even if my bankroll was $1 million. Well, it depends what your bankroll is. I feel comfortable putting Malloy on a parlay. I feel comfortable putting Malloy on a full unit. 60% return seems to me that is amazing value for who he's fighting. I think Malloy will look good here. I don't think you have to get sexy with a method of victory. You guys know my style. I do like finding plus money tickets, so I'm gonna pair Malloy with. See, they're not giving me a lot. I mean, because I still have to tape. Vlad Hernandez is old now. I don't want to be so quick to say Anton's going to starch him. And then Saul Sanchez, he's fighting a kid. This is a crazy. Let me stay on topic because I need to address something. Chop chop. Those odds suck. Maybe Taraji, but Israel Gonzalez is tough. Maybe give me till tomorrow. I do like Malloy though. I like Malloy to win that fight. So I will use Malloy in a parlay, but I'm gonna wait until later on in the week so they give me more fights. This is a crazy fight. Okay, so Sal Sanchez. 2 days ago, look at Sal Sanchez 2 days ago was $1.25. And Bruno was a 5-1 a 5-1 dog. Saul is now 49% return on the money line, and Bruno's not even a 3-1 dog. There has been a lot of money coming in on Bruno Rios, and I have no idea why. It's hard to find any tape on him. He's fought nothing but tin cans. I don't think he's fought one guy with a winning record. He has 8 pro fights. Sal Sanchez, by no means a perfect fighter. I don't have action on this fight. I'm not playing this fight. I know it's caused a lot of uproar in our Discord. I mean, why is this kid... Somebody tell me. I'm being 100% honest here. Somebody tell me. This is his amateur record. Why all of a sudden it looks to me a lot of money is coming on him. This is who he's fought. He's a 5'4" featherweight. That's his amateur record. BoxRec is tripping. Bro. BoxRec is going to give me a seizure. Okay. And this is his pro record. Far from a storied amateur. I'm being kind. He's 8-0 with 7 knockouts. He's 20 years old. He's a 5'4" featherweight, right? Look who he's fought. I mean, so in 2026, he fights a guy who's 3-47. He fights a guy who's 5-21. He fights a guy who's 6-35. He fights a guy who's 2-9. He fights a guy on his debut. Okay, he's in there with Sal Sanchez, who has 25 pro fights. Only been stopped once. He's 29 years old. Bantamweight. They call him the Beast. Casemiro stopped him in the first round. Majority draw. He hasn't had a win since 2024. He's been in there with Jason Maloney. He fought Jason Maloney really tough. Watch the Jason Maloney fight. So all I'm saying is, like, he's fought world champions. He's fought for a world title. So why could somebody tell me why money's coming in on him though? So he's on Team USA. Okay, so Julia says Bruno was on Team USA. That's why money's coming in on him. So you're betting on him? Because, I mean, what is... Okay. Explain this. Why have they been moving him like this? He's on Team USA. Sweet. Why fight a guy who's 3-47? Why fight a guy who's 5-21? Why fight a guy who's 6-35? I know why. To get knockouts, to manufacture a record. So maybe you guys, maybe Julius knows something I don't know. I don't have action on this fight. The odds are going crazy. There's so much money coming in on Rios. So bet at your own risk. Bruno Rios. I just want to fill you guys in on that. If you're not in our Discord, you wouldn't know. There's a lot of money. So if you, Jay, if you think, do you think we should all jump on Bruno Rios now then as the dog? Because the book sure says we should. A lot of people have. The craziest thing is Rios by knockout is at plus 275. People think that Rios is going to stop him. Johnny, thoughts on Landolfo fighting Birslanov? Not familiar with the Canadian, and Delgado has it. I know both guys. You should, yeah. We watched Birslanov on many cards. Landolfo Delgado. I've been covering him for a few years. You know, he always wins me money, but it's always a sweat. I always pick Delgado on points or Delgado on the money line. It's always a sweat. Start dating back to the Elvis Rodriguez fight. Dating back to that fight. But Delgado somehow, he keeps getting through it. I like when I see odds here, I probably like Birslanov. I would take Birslanov in this fight. I haven't seen the odds yet. When they drop, remind me. Adam Azim should get a title shot at 142. We want to see Adam Azim versus obviously Dalton Smith. That's the fight. That's the fight that they've been talking about in Britain for at least 2 years before Dalton beat Subriel. And now Azim is catching up to the star power as well. That's a great fight. I'm glad you brought that up. I'd love to see Dalton versus Azim. It's a great fight. 140, man. Sneaky good fighters there. All around the board. That's a really good fight. I'm excited for that fight. Hopefully they sign that. Damn, odds might be even by fight night. Yeah, man. So all right, so Jay's talking about damn, odds might be even for the fight. If the odds are even for the fight, let's just jump on Rios now then. You know what I'm saying? Is that the move? Somebody sign off on it because I've been watching over 48 hours. The odds going crazy. The Discord's been going crazy. I know there's sharp money going in on Rios from our group. Are we going to miss out? Like, is there money on the table? Julius, you sign off on Rios? If you're new to the team, Julius is one of our sharps. Are you signing off on Rios? Because if you sign off on Rios, I'll jump on him too. I watched a few fights of his from you guys shared in the Discord, but I mean that's crazy value then, because usually it's early reads or the reads that you don't want to leave money on the table. Let me know. Small Falcon, where's the Discord link? Small Falcon, did you join on YouTube? Let me check. Did you join on YouTube or Patreon? I'm checking new members. Let me know where you joined. All right. If you joined on Patreon, send me a DM. If you join on Patreon, Small Falcon, send me a DM on Patreon. I'll send you the Discord link. I'm checking YouTube new members. Stand on business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 7. We got 8 new members today on YouTube. I don't see you on YouTube, Falcon. So it looks like you joined on Patreon. We got 4 new members. Yeah, I see you. Send me a DM there, and I'll send you the Discord link now. All right. Not all professional boxers can get opportunities. Sometimes a blood. Yeah, but come on, man. As a bettor, he's not lying here. Julius isn't lying. But as a bettor, we pick up on patterns, and we've been doing this as a team for almost a year now. That is a red flag, though. I get it. You do have exceptions, but that is a red flag when you look at Rios's who they've been matching him up with. Because part of a good matchmaker, part of a good team, is how you move a fighter. A fighter gets nothing out of fighting tin cans, especially if this is a kid who people feel has great potential into one day being a contender. He's getting nothing out of being a guy who's 1-29. You know what I mean? He's getting nothing out of beating a guy who's 3-40. So that's kind of, if that's your argument, I could push back and say what I just said. Because you still want the 20-year-old to be tested. You still want him to learn. You're not learning any lessons getting 60-second knockouts against Uber drivers, even if you're 20. There's no lessons there. You want to move him accordingly, especially if they feel that he has potential. I wonder why my comment ain't show up on the screen. You see what Breaking Bad had to say about Rios? What comment? Breaking Bad don't talk to me, so I don't know what you're talking about. Bruno Rios reminds me of Abraham Perez that defeated La Bamba. Man, La Bamba beat Perez. Don't try to. Abraham Perez was gifted a decision. He lost the last 4 rounds. I want to see that rematch. I would still take. I would still take Bamba. It's, Abraham Perez did what he wanted to do. He started off good and he faded in the championship rounds. I was salty. That was one of the only losses I had that weekend. That was Bamba got kind of the short end on that decision. Unheralded Mexican American with world class amateur background. So now we're calling Bruno Rios world class amateur background. His amateur records, it's not shiny. A bit off topic from this week's fights, but what's your thoughts on Ben Whitaker, Connor Wallace? Good fight. Good fight. Connor Wallace is a big dude. Both, you know, been in the game and very experienced. I think, I've watched Connor Wallace's last 4 or 5 years here in Australia. I've seen him live a couple times. Obviously, he's not going to be as flashy as Ben. And I think Ben's growing into who he is as a pro. I like the work he's done with Andy Lee. I like how he's maturing. Connor Wallace is a tough fight, though. He's a big dude. He can punch. And I'm excited for it. Yeah, Zami's record sucks talking about Bruno. Rios money line. Sanchez last 2 fights were horrible. Yeah, so Sanchez lost to draw, and Sanchez got. I mean, Sanchez going the distance with Jason Maloney in a world title fight, though, was only 18 months ago. You know what I mean? So sometimes guys will have. I mean, this is really tough. Okay, this is so. He's still in his 20s, right? He's only in his 20s. So being a kid in his late 20s, he gets stopped in the first round. Casemiro weighed in heavy. Remember, that was the fight Casemiro missed weight. The fight could have not gone on. No, Casemiro didn't even weigh in. Do you remember that shit? So, all right, so make what you will of it. I heard Casemiro was like 10 pounds over, didn't even weigh in. And, he takes the fight, gets stopped in the first. Okay. Get stopped in the first. It's not like getting stopped in the ninth with 4 knockdowns, getting beat up the entire time. And then the draw against Rodriguez, who was 12-9. It was only January of 2024 where he loses a majority decision to Jason Maloney in a world title fight. So unless this 29-year-old kid is completely washed, you guys are banking on the fact that this 29-year-old kid who's fought for world titles before is completely washed and is going to lose to this dude. I mean, I don't have action on it. I don't have action on it. Not yet. Not yet, at least. It's just hitting my radar. So I'll look into it. I'm gonna look into it more. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to the chat. It's a fight now that's on my radar that wasn't on my radar. And with the odds going crazy as they are, man, maybe it won't hurt waiting a day or two. Maybe it will. If you're on Rios, I would jump now because it looks like the way those odds are trending, they're going to get close to even. You're probably leaving some money on the table. If you're on Rios money line, join Patreon. Falcon, send me a DM on Patreon. I'm going to check right now. All right, there it is. Hi, join. There you go. I need the Discord link. Live fast. I got a couple of you gents in there. I joined Patreon. Send Discord, please. Remember since 3 hours ago. Current tier free. Yeah, you gotta pay. You gotta pay to play, brother. It says you're a free member. trying to rig the system. You ain't slick, Small Falcon. You ain't slick. I will send live life fast though the Discord link because he just signed up. Current tier $6 and he's paid. You guys think you're slick out here. See, I gotta do, but y'all, you know, I got moderators, right? Fools think that they could just join on that free boy. Good try though. I like it. I like your swag. Small Falcon, $0. Member since 3 hours ago. Current member free tier. I joined recently. Send Discord. I pay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. You cats are wild. You and him not cool anymore. So I'm cool with him. He doesn't speak to me. I'm cool with everybody. Why not take Sanchez here? Yeah, so this is what we're learning, Falcon, is that this fight if I take action on this fight, I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay? I gotta look into it now. I'm gonna rewatch the fight where he drew. I remember the fuckery with Casemiro though, because we had action on that undercard, and Casemiro doesn't weigh in, and that was a Kameda Promotions fight. That was a Kameda Promotions fight card. The whole fight card had a lot of suspicion around it. I'm pretty sure that was Kameda Promotions. And he was like 12 pounds over, and they still fought. And he stopped him in the first. And I remember the narrative was like, why did that fight even take place? So I want, I'm gonna send some messages. I need to see if Bruno Rios is legit. I don't trust the guy I don't trust that resume. I get what Julius says. Sometimes you have to take fights that you could get. There is a specific way specific fighters will get moved, especially if they're legit, especially if they have a lot of shine on them coming out of the amateur program from America. They're not going to get paired with guys who are 3-30. That's not how guys get moved. Guys who get moved that way are guys with a lot of questions behind them. So if you're asking me, I think that's a risky bet to take Rios right now. So that's all I'm going to say. I have to look more into it. Rios been training with Bam and Sandoval. Oh, shout out to Sandoval, man. Who did they just say Sandoval was in line to fight? Was it Sandoval versus somebody we just saw? Guys, chat, let me know. Who did they say they were making they were supposed to fight Ricardo Sandoval? It was somebody exciting. I'm sure you guys will let me know. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we talked about that. You guys know I like Auntie Ruiz here. I think a knockout. I'm waiting for props to drop on Anton versus Vlad. Chop Chop. Any props? No props on Chop Chop card. Montoya. Here's a hot take. How do you guys see this one going? Yeah, there it is. Galoya Phi. Looks like I've done more rounds than Rios. I'm possibly skipping this fight. You've had more rounds than Rios. Dude, but Rios' resume is like one more, if we're gonna keep talking about it. All right, guys, name another prospect. Give me a prospect that you think that has potential to be a contender. I want to prove my point. Because I mean, this has red flag written all over it, this matchmaking. This isn't a kid who's people are avoiding to fight. So you're saying he can't get fights, so he has to fight Julio Jacoba at 6-35 because he can't get fights, and then he still can't get fights, so he has to fight Haziel Brun, who's 5-21, and then he still can't get fights, so he has to fight a guy who's Christian Hernandez, who's 3-47 because he can't get fights. Oh, and now he can get a fight. He's fighting Saul Sanchez. I don't know, man. Leo Tang. He only has like a few fights. So Leo is 7-0 with 6 knockouts. Let's see his matchmaking. 5-4, 6-32, 11-6, 9-17, 3-0, 1-5. Even that's okay. 5-4 winning record, 11-6 winning record, 3-0 winning. At least he has 3 winning records on his resume. And he's fighting his fourth guy. He's fighting his fourth opponent out of 7 with winning records. That's what we want. It doesn't have to be shiny. I'm not talking about give Bruno Rios contenders or guy, but he's gone from fighting nobody at the pro ranks to fighting a guy who lost a close decision to Maloney in a world title only 2 years ago. That's all I'm saying. So bet that fight at your own risk. I am open though. I am open to being sold on Rios. That's all I'm saying. Obviously, I don't have skin in the game yet. But what I'm telling you is, in the Discord, the boys, I'm open for somebody selling me on Rios because right now I just don't see it. Sandoval, Yafai. That's it, Galal Yafai. Hopefully he, is 100% after the beating that the drug-induced, steroid-induced Frankie Rod put on him. I went on my Frankie Rod rant yesterday. I'll spare you. You don't think Vlad can upset the odds? Have it wrong. You think so? I was thinking about that. We got to remind everybody who Vlad is, though. Right now, Vlad's a 3-1 dog. How old is he? 37 now? How old? This fool's 37, guys. Hey, Unk, we out here. Unks, we out here. How old is Vlad? Yeah, Vlad's 37. Shout out to the Unks. We still up. 17-7. Been stopped twice. Southpaw 24K. We saw him against Veron. It was. He got hit a lot, man. He got beat pillar to post. That's why I said props. I think I like Anton. I mean, I think the fight goes the distance. I mean, didn't we think Vlad beat? He lost a split. Didn't we think he beat Lucero? No, Kevin, come on, man. This is that 6'3" southpaw who could punch. We've watched him like 4 times in the last few years. 27 years old, 6'3" Southie, fighting at 54. Knocked out Kujwatillo, knocked out Lucero. This dude, yeah, no, he's not live. Vlad is not live against Anton. The question is Anton going to stop him or is he on points? Vlad's super tough. He's only been stopped a handful of times. He's 5'7". Anton's 6'3" southpaw, power puncher. Yeah. I'm happy. I knew why I was waiting on the prop. I wasn't waiting on the props for Vlad to be live. I was waiting on the props to see if we were going to get the knockout prop. To see what the knockout played versus the points. Anton wins that fight. Cruz versus Montoya. Montoya never been stopped. Old, looking real sluggish. I like Cruz by knockout, actually. Only because I think he's going to have a point to prove. He's still training with Bozy in the dungeon. his last 3 or 4 fights with Bozy. You're seeing he's punching more. He just has to stop showboating in exchanges. I think he could get Montoya out of there. They love Eddie Cruz by decision. Great. I mean, that's a great play. Plus 155. I like it. I'm not playing it, though. Leo Itang. Johnny, if we did a double dog again, who would you pick? Really like Alter Montez. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I did give you I do have one dog. My UFC dog of the week is live. So tomorrow we'll get more into the UFC. Rios getting stopped. Toxic Ramsey in the house. So people are going. So now we got people who have gone from Bruno Rios is a live dog to now we're getting this is what we need as a group. The other side is saying Rios is getting stopped. So Toxic, talk to me a bit. My prospect, but Carmel Moat, man, he doesn't like. I don't know why they've been holding him back. 2 years ago, he fought. Think about when he fought. What's the kid's name? Follows me on the gram. We watch him fight all the time. In a very close nip and tuck fight. Carmel's fought only a handful of times since then, and our other guys fought like 10 times since then. Maybe it's just a promotional thing. Chilltown had it right. Montoya is very durable, but his defense is so poor. He's going to get hit all fight, and on short notice, I can see him getting stopped. Even though Cruz, well, I played. I played Cruz. I didn't know. When did Chilltown say this? Did Chilltown put that up in our Discord? I didn't know that. I took. When did I put this bet in? I put this bet in yesterday at 1:00. I took Cruz by knockout. So I have a double, guys. I have Cruz by knockout and David Papeau on points. It pays plus 364. So that's a double I'm paying. I'm playing a double method of victory. Andy Cruz by stoppage. David Papeau on points. It pays plus 364. I really like that. I didn't know that Chilltown said that. That's good. I like Vargas as a proper prospect. Emiliano? Vargas? Funny, Carmel never realized the spar with Vasoli. Yeah. I mean, who? Okay, now we're talking about Carmel. This is what I find interesting. Obviously, we know about Carmel's amateur background. He's only 20 years old, young kid. Turned pro at like 17, I think. He's just been maybe he's like getting healthy. I don't know. He's just been super inactive for a 20-year-old. Dude, this is driving me freaking insane. Okay, so he fought in 2026. I guess he's been more active than I give him credit for. I guess he's just been under promoted because when he broke through the Anthony Cuba fight, that Anthony Cuba fight was a really fun fight. That was March 2024, so it was like 2 years ago. I've seen Anthony Cuba fight on TV 4 times since I've seen Carmel Moten fight. I wonder why the promote like he was getting heavily promoted. He fought Anthony Cuba in his third pro fight. That was a really fun fight. Gave Cuba his first loss. I think Cuba was 6-0 at the time. Cuba's only 23. And so Cuba fights 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times since the Moten fight. I guess it's just because we've watched Cuba now fight almost every fight on Pro Box. and we really haven't seen Moten on one of these cards. I know he was featured a couple times after the pay per view ended. Do you got like it was odd? He was I think it was on a either a Shakur card, like or a Devin card, and it was like after the pay per view was over, and we didn't get to see him. Cuba has another fight coming up. When's this fight? July 18th. Anthony Cuba fights this weekend. Oh shit! Shout out. I'm not getting any odds. That's my boy. I got to send him a message on Instagram. So this is the Pro Box card, which has some good fights. I like Anton to beat Hernandez. Ruben Aguiar could punch. Aguiar versus Trayshawn Wiggins. I know you guys were asking me about that fight. Trayshawn Wiggins is in his 30s now. Ruben Aguiar could punch. I like Aguiar in that fight. I like Auntie Ruiz to beat Ginny Fuchs in the rematch. Ginny Fuchs. Ginny Fuchs. You can't be throwing that name at me spelled like that. It's Ginny Fuchs. I'm just doing a rundown. Charlie Suarez, not the fight that he wanted. It's for an international title. Go if you don't know what I'm talking about. We last saw him against Emmanuel Navarrete, and unfortunate for him, it didn't go his way due to a cut, but was actually a punch. And then he lost a decision. Went to the cards. Jan Marcus, 15-0 versus Guido Schramm. We saw Guido Schramm in his step-up fight a couple fights ago. Things fell short. That's easy money for Marcos. Brian Flores versus. This is a good card. Cuba versus Michelle Cabrera Urias, 18-3. It's a step up for Cuba. That's a step up for Cuba. I'd like to see the odds on that. I bet you they're 50-50. Charles Harris Jr. versus Lamont. Luis Correa versus anyone else on this card. Look at Pro Box out here giving us fights, dude. Paid the $5 a month, guys. Paid the $5 a month, and if you don't pay the $5, we'll be streaming it in our punk ass Discord anyway. But support Pro Box. They put on good cards. That's insane. Where's this card at? Is this in Carson? San Bernardino, the Inland Empire. All right. Cuba released. Popov versus Eubank odds are really close. I honestly think it's a complete mismatch. Same. This is me and Eddie agree. I think that I don't think Harlem Eubank he's a good athlete. He's 32, Popov's 35. Eubank is 5'8", Popov's 6 foot 6'1". Popov has fought above at 54 before, fought at 60 before. We know this is a welterweight fight. Eubank is a guy who relies on his athleticism, picks up the sport of boxing late, doesn't have your traditional boxing skills, but he's gifted from an athletic performance perspective. He crashes in, runs into the pocket, doesn't have setups. I think Popov controls the range. I think he uses his jab. He's a big southpaw. I like Popov on points. I think that's easy money. I don't see a world where Eubank could win on, I don't even agree with the A side fuckery scorecard. People are like, "Oh, I'm not going to take Harlem Eubank because I feel that if Popov wins 9-3, he'll get screwed on the scorecards." No, I think I think he makes the whole fight look easy. Did you see Joyce quit in Russia? So glad I couldn't bet that. Yeah, that's a no bet. We didn't have options for Joe Joyce. I think Carmel lack of promos accounted Mayweather promotion falling down a bit. Yeah. Because it wasn't too long ago. Carmel turned pro, I think, a couple months before the Errol Spence Jr. Bud Crawford fight in July 2023. Or I think so. And so he was in that wave, and he was getting featured on these big cards, and all of a sudden he's not getting featured anymore. I don't know what happened. He's fun. Fun style. Gets hit a lot, but fun. All right, Small Falcon. I see your messages, brother, if you're still on. Copy link. Patreon. Small Falcon. Here you go, bro. Here you go. All right, if you're still on, I sent you, bro. I just got it. All right. If you guys are in the Patreon and you're not in the Discord, DM me. I'll send you the link. If you join on our YouTube members only section and you're not in the Discord, send me a message. I'll send you the link. August will be our 1 year anniversary. We're approaching 550 VIPs. We stream all the fights in there. It's a professional betting community. I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Guys, we're an hour in. There's 55 of you in here. Could you like the video? Watch my breakdown prediction of Diego Pacheco and Emmanuel Aleem. No one's even asking about Pacheco and Aleem. How crazy is that? Where's your money at? Who are you guys betting on with Pacheco and Aleem? No one's talking about it. You guys are crazy. All right, so this is what our Discord looks like. We have the best moderators in the world. I'm going to keep one anonymous because he asks me to keep him anonymous. And I'm going to shout out the other one publicly, Gil. Gil is our other moderator. So as you look, so if you're not in here, what we do here is boxing channel, MMA channel, winning tickets, mixed tickets, boxing slips. Our moderators create fight channels to where, like, as the fights are coming up, you could click in here and debate the fights with the boys. There's study channels, NBA, baseball, soccer, tennis. This I can't. So be prepared in a month, guys. College football is my wheelhouse. I win just as much money betting on college football as I do in boxing and MMA. So wait all year for college football to come back. So I will be sharing my slips and tickets in the college football channel. For you Aussies, we have AFL, we have NRL, we have auto racing, and we're a growing community. So this is what the chat looks like. So as you see, the boy, you constantly have a community. There's no trolls. We don't put up with swearing. We don't put up with any BS. It's a professional betting community. Some guys bet $20,000 on their tickets. Some bet $20. So that's irrelevant. The point is, it's a place where you could ask questions, learn. Because it's midweek, we're riffing off of each other. I do these lives every day to kind of see where everyone's head's at. And then, we're slowly picking our guys. So this is just them commenting. Wagner is a Canadian guy. Wagner is a guy, I'm pretty sure you're talking about Wagner, who fought both Papo and Harlem Eubank. Harlem Eubank struggled with Wagner if we want to play boxing match. Papo stopped him. Papo, in my opinion, beat Liam. I know I picked Liam to win. I won money on Liam. Liam was in real trouble against David Papo. Liam was in real trouble. And, Papo barely had a mark on his face. Liam was bloodied up, bleeding, swollen. It was his first fight at 47. He really struggled with Papo's size. And I'm pretty sure Harlem Eubank is smaller than Liam Perro. Let me fact check that. 100% Liam Paro's the way better boxer than Harlem Eubank. So Liam Paro's listed at 5'8.5". We know he came up from 140. So Liam is 5'8.5" listed, right? Harlem Eubank is shorter than Liam Paro. Why does that matter? That matters because David Papo is a big welterweight and he fights long and he's a long southpaw and he's good at boxing and he has good skills and he knows how to control a fight at his range. And that is what Liam Paro struggled with. He was struggling with David Papo's range and his jab and how to, getting on the inside without getting touched. So I have Papo on points. I'm actually worried that he might stop Eubank. So I don't see a world where Harlem beats David Papo in boxing. Maybe if they were sprinting in like a 400 or like a 200 meter, maybe Harlem would beat him in that. I don't know. Maybe in a, 3-point contest. I don't know. Do they play basketball in the UK a lot? I don't know. In boxing, in a ring, at a high level, Harlem Eubank doesn't beat David Papo in a boxing match. It's not going to happen. I don't see it happening at all. Papo arguably beat Liam. I agree. I say you last fights and you were calling out the fight with less lag than watching it. I say you live last fights and you were calling out the fight with Lessa. Yeah, BoxRec's crazy, dude. The BoxRec lag is insane. Why does it do that? I'm noticing no trolls really here because most of you spawn. I mean, week after week, high interest. Look at the last. We I had we had 2 bad weeks. 2 since January. Go look at all the receipts since January. I had a bad week in June. Week 2 and week 3 of June were bad, but we still won. But we had a lot of losses week 2 and week 3. Since then, the last week of June up until now, 3 weeks in a row, almost everything hit. And before the second week of June, because the first week of June I hit the 490 to 1, all the way back to January on fire. So we're all going to have a down spiral. It's all about how long you stay down. And guess what, boys? We up. We up. I mean, a boxing stream. I will join if stream have. Don't join, mate. We don't. I don't want you. We don't want you joining, bro. you ain't for us. I just took proposed. Surprise! I always haven't moved. Brian Flores by knockout. Not seen the props yet. Yeah. Okay. So it's the ads on BoxRec. Thanks, Fresh. That makes sense. Is there a better which? So when I'm live streaming, what other boxing? I mean, Tapology. Either way, guys, I'm going to lock it up. I'll see you guys soon. We have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of homework to do. I'm going to check out some of these fights we were talking about. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next one. You guys are the best.